Welcome to the Wellness for Women show, where we talk about life, weight loss and everything in between. I'm Faye Caseman, founder of the AAA Way Life and Weight Loss Programme, and I'm here to help you put together the pieces of life and weight loss for one last time. This is an episode of the Wellness for Women show, filmed live in the free Facebook group. What am I covering tonight? I am covering how to invest in yourself and benefit from it immediately. So let me know in the chat, do you work on your self-development at the moment? Let me know in the chat if you work on self-development. Oh, hey Sarah, hey April, nice to see you lovelies. I put the chat up here actually because I have it on my phone because there's just too many things going on the screen. There we go. I'll be able to see if anybody comments, although there is obviously a bit of a lag. So do you work on your self-development? Let me know in the chat. Maybe you think self-development is a waste of time or money, maybe. Or that maybe there's no point in working on it because it's just easier to stay where you are. Maybe you think that you're a bit long in the tooth to change or to improve. Or maybe you think you simply don't have, like I say, the time or money to invest in yourself. It's also very possible that you put your needs last and spend time and money on others. But what if I told you that investing in yourself is one of the smartest decisions you will ever make? What if I told you that maybe it could make you more money or save you more time? How it could enhance your relationships with other people, with yourself, and take your life from the ordinary to the exceptional. Would you want to know more? So hopefully the answer to that is yes, because that is what I am looking to cover in tonight's live and also available on the show notes. So as usual, leave me a hashtag show notes if you want me to pop you the link for the show notes to come over. As I said, if you haven't signed up yet for the free weight loss program, make sure you leave me a hashtag freedom and I will send you that. So I'll dive on in. So again, for those who don't know me, because I'm getting new people into the group all the time, I am Faye Caseman, creator of the AAA Way weight loss program, where I help women to work on ditching dieting or traditional diet methods that haven't really served them. I do this by teaching my AAA women how they can craft their own weight loss journey through a combination of intuitive eating and life coaching. I myself have lost 70 pounds with this method, and I've seen countless others do the same. And I just want to spread the word that we don't have to suffer with our weight loss quite as much as it can be with some of these, normal methods and fad diets that can happen. So moving on, self-development and investing in yourself. As I say, by far the smartest decision that I have ever made. It was the best decision that I've ever made and continue to make because it's something that I continue to work on. So when you're working on your personal development, no matter how big or how small the goal that you're working towards, you are ultimately making an investment in yourself. Just like any investment, there are some risks and rewards perhaps associated with it. The risks are usually things like it might take you out of your comfort zone. You might step outside of, like, say, what's familiar, and therefore you might feel like you're failing. But that's all perfectly normal. It's part of the process and actually shouldn't be viewed as a roadblock. These are actually really good things. The rewards of self-development and working on yourself, on the other hand, are that it's likely to increase your confidence, like say, improve your relationships, and generally it can bring you a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose. And this is all the kind of thing that we work on in the AAA Way weight loss program. It's not just about weight loss. It is about life and weight loss. And as I say, taking your life to the extraordinary, taking it wherever you want to take it, basically, whilst losing weight. Okay, so let's say self-development is not a one-time event. It is a journey, just like weight loss. And again, just like weight loss, there's many different ways you can go about it. So you could take online courses, you could read self-help books, you could, maybe join a membership. You could go to workshops, retreats. The list is endless. So what is self-development and why is it important? So how I define self-development, if I can get my teeth in today, is that it's the process of growing and improving yourself. So you could do this, I say, by learning a new skill, developing new habits or attitudes, or just, let's say, increasing your knowledge. And self-development is also important because, as I say, it helps you to make sure that you're reaching your full potential. It allows you to be the best version of yourself, which in turn leads to generally a more fulfilling and successful life. And when you invest in yourself, you're essentially making an investment in your future. And as I said, I can't begin to tell you how powerful this was from my weight loss journey and the self-development that I undertook. I started off wanting just to lose weight, and I found so much more. I've ultimately found a way to live that has brought me purpose and meaning to my life that I thought that I'd lost. So I would say that my story, I think, is similar to many women, possibly of my age. You hit 40, I hit 40, should I say? I shouldn't tie you all with my brush, but I hit 40, and it made me really think, well, what am I doing with my life? Where am I going? I'd never been particularly driven. I'd just been bumbling through life. I literally bumbled through life. So I went to uni because I didn't know what I wanted to do as a job. I ended up getting a job in HR because it seemed like a really good idea at the time, not because I kind of really it was a good pick for what I'd done. I got married and I had my daughter because at that point in time, that's what I thought that the life path was, get married, have children, etc. And then led to getting divorced, and then I hit 40. My daughter was getting a bit older, so she wasn't needing me as much. And so it wasn't that I wasn't happy, it was just, normal, really. But I wanted to shake things up a little bit. I didn't want life to just be normal. I wanted to kind of know that I'd done something and achieved something. So I could have gone that could have gone several ways, to be perfectly honest, because I think I was feeling quite despondent at that age, at that point in time. Could have had a bit of a breakdown because there definitely had periods of time where I was very, very stressed. Could have perhaps hit the wine or ate more food, or I just could have continued as I was, just kind of drifting along. But thankfully, I found my weight loss mentor, and it opened my eyes to the world of self-development, self-coaching, and mindfulness. And I've since done several courses, workshops, retreats, read several books, listened to many podcasts, and I've loved every minute of it. And ultimately, my life and weight loss has changed dramatically. So that to me is why it's important. And so, like I say, the benefits of self-development, I say, where do I start? There's many reasons to invest in yourself. So firstly, when you work on yourself, I say you end up gaining so much personal power. It's absolutely untrue. With each course, with each book, with each conversation, I feel like I get a shift of perspective, a new way of thinking, and that can make a really big difference to how we all show up in our lives. And you then can begin to see yourself, your life, and the world around you in a completely different way. The other things as well, secondly, as you become more self-aware, you can start to know what you want out of life, be able to create goals, plans to achieve these. And this is the biggie. This is the real biggie one. It's, for me, it's easy to go through life without any direction or focus. Like I say, I know I was one of them, and I just let life take me along. I didn't know what I wanted or how to get it, or I just assumed that I couldn't have it, and so I didn't try. And so I was literally just going through the motions day in, day out, and it just felt like Groundhog Day ultimately. And so I say, working and looking and taking part in self-development and self-coaching has changed all of that, and I can't advocate it enough. So let me know in the chat what, if anything, sparking on anything that I'm talking about so far. So I say the other benefits, and the point is that the journey is yours. When you really embrace self-development, self-coaching, you become the captain of your ship. And so ultimately the benefits of self-development are whatever you want them to be. The world of choice is literally at your feet. So maybe you want to become a more valuable asset to your employer. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to get a promotion, get a raise. Who knows? And, you know, through my self-development, I've done all of those things. Whereas 5 years ago, I wouldn't have even tried to push for anything. I'll say I've had times in my career where I've dreaded going to my day job. It wasn't that the job was the problem. You know, ultimately, if I really hated it, I could or would have left. In my case, it was a mindset thing, and some simple self-coaching tools mean that I'm now able to shift that about when I need to. So my stress levels come down as a result of that, and combined with the mindfulness. So even just today, for example, I had a slight disaster with my computer, which then put me behind a little bit in my day job. And so by the time I finished work, I was very aware that I was feeling quite grumpy. Old me would have just got grumpier and grumpier throughout the day, basically. New me recognised this, and then me personally, how I dealt with that today, it could have been, so I basically do 3 things to make me happy. I either listen to music, I either move my body, usually dancing to songs in the kitchen, or sometimes I'll do meditation type techniques. So I don't sort of like sit there like omming or anything like that, but I would just put on like a meditation app or something like that, because I do find that kind of thing really helps to just calm my brain. Calms your limbic system. At the end of the day, there is science to it. But anyway, maybe you might want to lose weight. Sustained weight loss is not just about what you eat or how you move, it's about lifestyle and habit changes. So self-development and learning how to self-coach dramatically helps with this. You know, say maybe how would it be if you had a better relationship with your family, your partner, your children? So in my case, it was my relationship with my daughter has gone from strength to strength. I ultimately decided how I wanted that relationship to look, and that's what I've effectively manifested by working on it. She has seen me change. She's seen me grow and develop and become a happier human being as a result, and so that's rubbed off on her too. So you may or may not have seen the post that I wrote that she's starting her GCSEs this week, and I am obviously beyond proud of her. Of course I would be, regardless of what happens, you know, but she studies without me having to nag her, you know, but best of all is the fact that it's the mindset that she's gone into, you know, and I think in part she's learned from my journey that the power of your thoughts, and you know, she's learned some coaching techniques from me that means that she's now showing up for these GCSEs in a completely different way to what she, I think, could have done a few years ago. So going on, basically, like I say, I feel like self-development allows you to create your own reality almost. So how do you get started on your own personal journey of self-development? I'm conscious that it could seem quite daunting, but it is definitely worth it. So I've got 10 tips for you. So tip 1 is choose a focus area. So one particular area, so such as your career, such as weight loss, such as relationships. So it doesn't mean that you can't work on other things, but it generally is better if you just have one focal point to start with. But chances are the others will follow, to be perfectly honest. So like for me, I worked on weight loss, my career and relationships followed. You could work on your relationship. If you're happier in your relationship, you're perhaps less likely to emotionally eat. So again, this is why for me, life and weight loss go hand in hand, because if you work on life, weight loss will follow. And if you work on weight loss, there's the potential that life will follow. So again, the two need to go together like a jigsaw. So I did do as well, if you're really stuck on this, I do have a tool to get you unstuck. So again, leave me a hashtag wheel and I'll send you a wheel of life exercise to help you get unstuck and started. Next tip is to find resources. So there's many different resources available to help you in self-development. So as I say, there's books, online courses, articles, podcasts, and more out there. What I would suggest is just have a little explore around. There's lots of free resources. If you are working on weight loss or you've got things like stress, that kind of thing coming up, make sure you check out the guides section in Wellness for Women, because there is lots of free resources in there. And then obviously, if you really want to take life and weight loss to the next level, you can always join the VIP membership, which is the paid membership, which is a monthly subscription. So third tip, set aside some time. So once you've found your resources, then of course you're going to have to make a little bit of time to work on it. It doesn't have to be long. It really doesn't. You know, you can start a journaling practice with just 5 minutes a day, for example. You can obviously just read a chapter a day of a book or something like that, or watch a module of a course a day. You know, so you can spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, you know, whatever you can make time for, but you will notice a difference pretty much immediately. I would pretty much wager if you started working on some of these things. But the important thing is to just try to be consistent, make self-development a priority somewhere down the line. So next one, take action. Absolutely key to change and anything that you want to do. Learning is great, but it's only beneficial if you take action. It's very easy to get stuck in the researching phase, so make sure that you are then stepping into action and applying what you've learned. So like I say, whether you've learned something new, make sure you practice it. If you're doing a new technique, continue to try it out, that kind of thing. Next one is to be patient. So it takes time. There are no quick fixes, but being patient with yourself, trusting that changes will happen and it will have a positive impact on your life. I know that you probably wanted the change, whatever it is that you want to work on. I know that you wanted it yesterday. I'm pretty sure I wrote the book on that. But once I stepped into being patient, that's when the changes really started to happen, believe it or not. I think we often think that we have to force ourselves, you know, create this kind of fearful environment, you know, especially with weight loss. You know, there tends to be in the diet industry, you know, a whole bunch of musts and shoulds with regards to what you should do. And that ultimately fills pants, which is why often we don't stick at them. And so I say taking that away instead, putting in curiosity and self-compassion, and you will see a remarkable difference in your progress. And then that leads me into the next one, where you can celebrate your progress. So if you are working on your self-development, you will make progress, you will reach your milestones, and so you need to really take a moment to just celebrate any achievement. Anything to do that you can positively reinforce what it is that you are doing will again just make that process so much better, basically. So just enjoy the process, finding a way to enjoy the process, absolutely again key to gathering momentum. Setting goals. So when you have a goal, it's something to work towards. It can help you keep you motivated. It is important to make realistic goals though, and I've done a couple of lives on setting goals and realistic goal setting. So and even last week I was talking about if your goals are too unrealistic, then you're likely to become frustrated and give up. So it is important to keep things simple and manageable. Right, number 8, working on self-command. So there will be times when you do not feel like working on your goals and you don't feel like you're making any progress and you will want to quit. That is absolutely normal. And that's if you take nothing away from this, just know that those kind of thoughts and feelings are normal. But what's important is how you deal with those in the moment. And that's where, again, self-coaching can really come into that. Increasing your self-belief. So when you have self-doubt, again, it's easy to want to give up. But if you notice when it's cropping up and remind yourself that you are capable and that you can figure it out, you know, you will again be able to just pick up where you left off and keep on with your momentum. This is one of the key things that I do when doubt strikes, because it does come up. You know, you'll never be without doubt, and we'll never be without judgment. These are all thoughts and feelings that come up all the time. So it's about having tools and techniques to recognise them, step into action, and do some mind injury, as I call it. And if you're really struggling with some self-belief, then borrow somebody else's. So again, I believe in you. I know that you can achieve your goals, and I can hold space for you if you need me to. And then lastly, of course, get a coach, join a community. One of my 4 daily steps. So in my program, there's only 4 things that you have to do daily in order to gather awareness, which and the last one of that is sharing with others daily. I wouldn't have lost my £70 if it hadn't been as well for the ladies that I was with in my journey, some of which I still, I talk to daily, others I connect in with less often. But that daily talk that I had, certainly whilst I was losing weight, that was absolutely critical for me, because in vocalizing what you're doing and sharing that helps to keep you accountable, but also it's what brings it to the front brain. So it's your thinking brain, which means that you are more likely to then again take some action, and ultimately achieve your goals. So tell me in the chat, what are you taking away from the session today? Are you going to try to do some self-development? What is it that you want to work on? What could you perhaps get started doing? Let me know in the chat. And again, if you're really stuck, like I say, just reach out. I'm happy to give support and point you in the right direction of maybe places that you could go. So quick recap time is self-development is an ongoing process, no quick fixes. It does take a little bit of time. It does take a little bit of patience. I feel like there was a song in there then. Kept getting one of those earworms where you can't stop thinking about the song. However, the benefits of self-development are well worth the effort. So by investing in yourself, you will not only improve your skills and knowledge, but also increase your confidence, career opportunities, health, relationships, you name it. The world is your oyster. So I hope that you found this week's video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for listening, and don't forget, if you want to boost your life and weight loss the AAA way, check out the relevant links for today's show in the description. Speak soon.